Hello champions and happy Monday. Today we're going to try our very first video lesson and I think you're going to do a great job with it. As you're taking the video, make sure you're taking notes on your paper. Also make sure you're completing all of the work. You'll get 2 grades. You'll get 1 grade for the notes you take and 1 grade for your answers to the questions on the video. I know you're going to do an amazing job, and so does this guy with the smiley face. Let's get started. Start with the problem of the day. Eric multiplied 14 times 45. His work is shown below. Part A. Use rounding to estimate the product of Eric's multiplication problem. Is Eric's answer reasonable? Why or why not? Let's start by estimating what a reasonable product would look like for 14 times 45. What number is close to 14 that we could use to get a reasonable estimate? Yes, 10. What number is close to 45 that we could use to get a reasonable estimate? If we round it to the tens place, we would get 50. What's 50 times 10? 50 times 10 is 500. To see if our answer is reasonable, let's compare our answer to our estimate. 500 is not very close to 126. So, Eric's answer is not reasonable. It should be close to 500. Make sure that's written down on your paper. Let's read part B. Eric made a mistake. What mistake did Eric make, and how should he fix it? Include the correct answer in your response. Whenever you have a problem like this, we should solve it correctly first to see what the mistake was. So let's multiply 14 times 45. Remember, when I'm multiplying 14 times 45, I can break it into 2 separate multiplication problems. First, I can multiply the 5 times 14, like I would do in an area model. Then I can multiply the 4 times 14. Except that 4 isn't really worth 4. It's worth 40. So I can write my problems out. 5 times 14 and 40 times 14. Let's start with 5 times 14. What's 5 times 4? It's 20. That's 0 ones and 2 tens. I'll carry my 2. What's 5 times 1? It's 5. Plus 2 more is 7. Now I'm finished with my 5, so I'll cross it out, and I'll cross out my 2. What do I need to do now to show I'm multiplying by 40 and not 4? I need to drop a 0 in the ones place because I'm multiplying in the tens place. Now I can multiply again. What's 4 times 4? 16. Carry my 1. What's 4 times 1? 4 times 1 is 5. This is 4. Plus 1 more is 5. The last thing I need to do is add my partial products. 0 plus 0 is 0. 7 plus 6 is 13. 1 plus 5 is 6. The answer is 630. The answer I got is much closer to 500 than 126. So, now that we've done the work correctly, what mistake did Eric make, and how should he fix it? Eric multiplied 4 times 14 instead of 40 times 14. He should have placed a 0 because 4 is in the tens place. You did a great job with the problem of the day. Now let's take some notes. To multiply it by a 2-digit number, use the distributive property and 2 partial products. To multiply a 2 by 2 digit number, there are 4 steps. First, multiply both digits in the first number by the digit in the ones place. After you're done in the ones place, drop a 0 because you were multiplying in the tens place. Multiply by the digit in the tens place. And then add your 2 partial products. Now let's do a couple examples. We'll try 2 together, and then you'll try 2 on your own. First, 15 times 13. It's in the bottom left-hand side of your page. When I multiply 15 times 13, I'm going to split 13 up into two different numbers to multiply by. What are those two numbers? Yeah, 13 has 3 ones and 1 10. What's the first multiplication fact I'm going to use? 3 times 5. 3 times 5 is 15. Carry my 1. What's the next multiplication I'm going to do? Yeah, I still need to multiply 3 times 1. I have to multiply 3 times both digits in the first number. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 more is 4. I'm finished with my 3, I'll cross it out. What should I do now? I need to drop a 0 because I'm multiplying in the tens place. Now I can multiply. 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 1 is 1. Now I can add. 5, 9, 1. 195 is my answer. Let's look at the next example. 46 times 73. What should I do first? Well, first I'm going to multiply 3 times 6, because my first partial product will be 3 times 46. What's 3 times 6? 3 times 6 is 18. Carry my 1. What's 3 times 4? It's 12, plus 1 more would be 13. Now I'm finished with my 3. What should I do next? I should drop a 0 because 7 is in the tens place. I need to multiply 70 times 46. 7 times 6 is 42. Carry my 4. Drop my 2. What's 7 times 4? It's 28. Plus 4 more is 32. Now I can add my partial products. 8 plus 0 is 8. 3 plus 2 is 5. 1 plus 2 is 3. 3,358. Now you try one. 24 times 52. We're going to break it into 3 parts. We're going to find each partial product and then the final product. Start with 2 times 24. What would go on my first line of multiplication? Well, 2 times 4 is 8, and 2 times 2 is 4. So, 2 times 24 is 48. Now let's multiply 50 times 24. What would be my second partial product? Well, I need to drop a 0. Then I can multiply. 5 times 4 is 20. Carry the 2. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 2 more is 12. 8 plus 0 is 8. 4, 1, and 2. 1,248 is my final answer. Now you try this last one on your own. What's 78 times 91? Let's see how you did. Remember, I'd separate this into 1 times 78 and 90 times 78. And then I would add my products. 1 times 8 is 8. 1 times 7 is 7. Now I need to drop my 0 because I'm multiplying in the tens place. 9 times 8 is 72. 9 times 7 is 63, plus 7 more is 70. When I add, I get 8, 9, 0, 7,098. You've done a great job with this video. Now it's time to turn the page and complete the practice problems. I am looking for you to turn your computer all the way off, put it inside your desk, and start your practice. You're going to do an amazing job. If you need help, raise your hand.